Hey there, my name's Niandra, and in this video I'm going to go through a ton of mercy techs you can do in Overwatch 2. Now, two things to note before we start. One, I am going to assume you know the basic functionality of Guardian Angel, so how to super jump, how to move directionally, and how to go backwards. Secondly, this video will assume your Guardian Angel target priority setting is set to either prefer beam target or prefer facing target. If you have no idea what that means, please see my mercy settings video first. Alright then, let's get started with Guardian Angel techs. Number 1 is a bunny hop. Guardian Angel to a target, cancel and press jump right as you touch the floor. If done correctly, you should be able to retain a bit of momentum after Guardian Angel is over. Number 2, the Slingshot Bunnyhop. Guardian Angel to a target, tap jump and then press jump again just as you touch the floor. The timing for this is a bit tricky and the game will sometimes just eat your second jump input if you get it wrong. You can tell if you've done it correctly because your bunny hop will be this smooth arch forward rather than a sluggish jump in place. Number 3 is a jump cancel. For this, simply cancel Guardian Angel after slingshotting to get the cooldown for GA started sooner but also go less far. The longer you wait to cancel, the more movement you get, and with GA's nerf, it is important to be conscious of when you can get away with cancelling. Number 4, prop bouncing. Get your beam on an ally and position in a way that places a piece of the map between you two, then press Guardian Angel. You should then get stuck on the prop and be able to charge your meter without actually having to move forward. Generally, you either want to slingshot to the side or super jump because just pressing jump will usually just make you hop in place like this. Also, sometimes you can do this beamlessly by jumping into line of sight like this. Also, you can seemingly use enemies as a springboard as well. Number 5, wall bouncing. This is essentially prop bouncing, but specifically using walls. So for example here, I Guardian Angel to my ally on point and use a slingshot to get to the other side without entering the objective. Wall bounces can be good for repositioning while keeping distance. Number 6, the aerial horizontal jump. Guardian Angel to an ally in the sky, lower your camera view to be about eye level, then press jump to go horizontally. This can be really good if you have an ally like Pharah very high up with high ground nearby and you would rather pocket them from that. Number 7, the V Guardian Angel. With this one, Guardian Angel to an ally below, flick your camera view upwards, then press jump with your forward movement key held down. If you do this by pressing crouch instead, your arch seems to be a little bit different and I personally just prefer the GA one. Okay, so quick side note, the next Guardian Angel texts are either really niche or just not very consistent, but have been included anyway. Number 8 is the Arch GA. This is when you Guardian Angel to an ally and seemingly go higher than you should before suddenly dipping down at the end. From what I can tell, there are two ways to do this. The first is to, I think, Guardian Angel to an ally above you with a slanted knee waist high object in the way, something you can seemingly walk over normally. The second method is to Guardian Angel as you jump onto a ledge like this. While not easy or consistent, there are actually some clips out there of players using the Arch GA. Number 9 is the Slant Jump. While standing on any slope, jump and then Guardian Angel just as you touch the floor to glide lower like this. Moving on, let's look at Superjump specific techs. Number 1, the vertical hop. So basically for this, press Guardian Angel and then crouch immediately afterwards to hop in place. Many players consider this to be the same as a regular super jump, but I think it's important to separate them. This technique is great for suddenly jumping over things like a Doomfist punch or pulse bomb and can also get you to high ground without moving too far forward. Number 2, the crouch super jump. Press crouch and Guardian Angel at the same time with crouch leading. You will know if you did it correctly because Mercy will dip and glide lower to the floor like this. Be careful though, it is very easy to mess up the timing and do a vertical hop instead if the game thinks you press Guardian Angel first before crouch. You also don't have to keep crouch held down, meaning you can tap it again to super jump. Anyway, this is mainly useful for two reasons. For starters, going lower means you can go through doorways easier. Secondly, this charges the bar faster, so if your ally is very close, a crouch super jump gets you a bit higher. Number 3, the upwards floor bounce. Simply get your beam attached to someone below, take a few steps back to place a platform between you two, then Guardian Angel and press crouch to go in the air without touching the floor below. This could be useful if you're on a platform and want to get to another one higher up. Number 4, the infinite air super jump. While you are in the air, Guardian Angel downwards and quickly cancel, allowing you to stay in the air, then chain this over and over. This isn't great anymore now that Guardian Angel has a longer cooldown, but occasionally it can still be useful for dodging things like Torbolt or Hammond Mines. Number 5, the teleporter super jump. When you go through Friendly Symmetra's teleporter, you retain any movement on the other side along with the direction you were facing. This means you can super jump through it like this, or even just slingshot if you would prefer that. Number 6, Cooldown Reduction. As soon as you press crouch to super jump, remember to let go of your Guardian Angel key to get the cooldown started sooner. If you super jump while keeping Guardian Angel held down, sometimes the cooldown will start much later, which could put you in danger. Moving on, we have resurrection techs. Number 1, Superjump Rezes, which I have 2 methods for. The first is for allies far away, where I like to Guardian Angel, then press resurrect and jump while quickly flicking my camera view into the air. Although, side note, you don't want to flick completely far up because then you may go too high and cancel the res. The second method is for allies close to me, where I like to Guardian Angel, then press crouch, jump and resurrect at the same time like this. Something crucial to keep in mind is that with Guardian Angel having a 2.5 second cooldown, you still have that second of linger time afterwards. If a res is dangerous enough that you need to jump it, will you be able to stay alive afterwards until you can reposition? Number 2, the Teleporter Rez. Basically, you need your Symmetra to place her 2 teleporters next to each other and next to a soul. If you then hold down your interact key, you will be able to res while ping-ponging between the teleporters. Do keep in mind you still need to stay in range of the soul, so trying to teleport to the other side of the map will just get your res cancelled. Number 3, the Horizontal Rez. For this, Guardian Angel to a soul, keep your camera at eye level or slightly above it, and then hit resurrect and jump at the same time to go forward. This tech is amazingly useful for jumping behind cover during a res or just keeping movement, and I really recommend getting the timing down. Number 4, moving soul reses. If an ally dies on a moving platform, you need to remain within 5 meters to get it off. If the soul is able to leave range in time, your res will cancel. Number 5, the falling soul res. When a teammate dies in the air, their soul falls to the floor, right? Well, if you go for the res, their soul freezes in place, meaning you want to hover in the air with it. If you try to res someone in the air and just fall with it, you will probably cancel the res. Number 6, the immediate res. Okay, so if you hold down your resurrect key while your ally is alive and nearby, you will automatically revive them as soon as they drop. And side note, for controller players, Angelic Descent and res seem to be on the same key by default, which might be why some players res instantly by mistake. Anyway, this isn't something I would really recommend, but there are a few places where this could be useful, especially when combined with the falling soul res. For example, during a friendly Pharah ult, if you're behind cover, reviving instantly could be the play. Number 7, weapon switching. You can switch weapons during Resurrect's animation and it will stop drawing the model on screen, allowing you to see more. This could also be useful if you pistol an enemy down and then want to change to your staff. Number 8, the crouch into Rez. A lot of maps contain platforms like this one that are roughly 5 meters high, and sometimes you can res allies on the ground below, but only if you crouch. Generally, the soul needs to be pretty close for this to work, but it can be useful. Number 9, the switch reset. The cooldown for Mercy's Resurrect will reset if you switch from her to another hero and then back to Mercy. Keep in mind this will also reset your ult charge accordingly, but could potentially be useful if you die after using Valkyrie or during a stall. Moving on, we've got Valkyrie techs. Number 1, very simply, the GA reset. Valkyrie resets the cooldown of Guardian Angel, so GA, Valk, GA. This can be pretty useful if you slothfully mess up your positioning or need to reposition faster. Number 2, the downwards GA. For this you need to Guardian Angel to someone while off the floor or to someone above you, look down and press jump. If done correctly, this will launch you towards the floor pretty fast. Number 3, the extra healing bug. So basically during Valkyrie your healing is increased and you retain that increase after your ultimate ends until you either switch to damage boost or change targets. This means if your tank is critical as Valkyrie is ending, it is worth flicking heals onto them last second to top them up faster. Number 4, the end of Valkyrie boost. As Valkyrie is about to end, charge up your bar and jump before it ends to slingshot higher and further than you do outside of ult. This isn't amazingly useful anymore and the timing is a bit tricky, but it can sometimes come in handy when your team loses a fight during Valkyrie and you need to fall back. You can also end your ult during Superjump to go especially high, but I don't think you want to do this very much. Number 5, the Valkyrie animation cancel. Press melee and your ultimate key at the same time to do a melee hit during Valkyrie's activation. Now, doing this seemingly adds 10 milliseconds to your beam breakage downtime, so it's pretty much something you'll use every 10,000 games, but hey, it's a TECHS video, so I thought I'd mention it. And last of all, miscellaneous techs. Number 1, wing tapping. When you're in the air and hold jump, you float like this with your wings out. However, if you tap jump quickly instead, you'll keep your wings closed while remaining in the air at generally the same rate. This is worth doing because the wings are part of Mercy's hitbox, making her less easy to hit. Number 2, if you walk off high ground and hold jump before hitting the floor, you will do a little bunny hop like this. If you jump from high ground and hold space, this will not work. This doesn't have much use in normal gameplay, but it is used a lot in Mercy parkour, so I thought I'd mention it. And that is all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to check out my other videos for more Mercy content, and have a nice day.